Picture an entire civilization at the absolute peak of its power, vanishing. The earth shakes, the ocean swells, and in a matter of hours, it swallows thousands of people and centuries of progress. This collapse didn't happen slowly over generations, through political decay or drawn-out wars. It was a single, violent, geological event that wiped the slate clean overnight. We know this story as the legend of Atlantis. And the mystery that keeps researchers obsessing over it is that, despite thousands of expeditions and countless deep-sea anomalies, there is absolutely zero universally accepted hard proof that it ever existed. The profile of this missing city describes a sprawling metropolis with massive circular waterways, a fleet of hundreds of ships, and infrastructure that eclipsed any other society on Earth at the time. So we are left with a massive archaeological cold case. Are explorers chasing the ultimate historical jackpot, or has the entire world been tricked by a 2,000-year-old piece of fiction? Every map, every expedition, and every theory about Atlantis traces back to exactly one man, the ancient Greek philosopher Plato, who wrote the original account around 360 BC. Plato provided a specific engineering blueprint: a central island surrounded by alternating rings of water and land, bisected by a central canal. He also provided coordinates. The empire sat far to the west outside the ancient naval boundary known as the Pillars of Hercules. Today, we know that boundary as the Strait of Gibraltar, the narrow waterway guarded by the Rock of Gibraltar that separates Europe from Africa. According to the account, the Atlanteans grew arrogant and greedy, angering the gods. Their punishment was a barrage of violent earthquakes and the massive flood that wiped the island from the map in a single day and night. Plato's inclusion of hyper-specific measurements, engineering layouts, and real-world geographical markers makes this story difficult for explorers to dismiss as a simple fable. The first serious suspect in this manhunt takes us to the Mediterranean, to the Greek island of Santorini, which in ancient times was called Thera. Around 1600 BC, Thera experienced one of the most violent volcanic eruptions in human history. The explosion was so massive it entirely hollowed out the island, leaving behind a giant water-filled crater known as a caldera. That blast triggered tsunamis that devastated the nearby Minoans. The Minoans were a highly sophisticated society with multi-level palaces, advanced plumbing networks, and a dominant navy. An advanced island society annihilated by a sudden natural disaster sounds exactly like Plato's story. However, Santorini is deep inside the Mediterranean, nowhere near the Pillars of Hercules, and the eruption happened nearly 1,000 years before Plato's timeline. The facts line up, but the map doesn't. So what if we look completely outside the ocean? That question leads us to a remote, barren stretch of the Mauritanian desert. This is the Reshat structure, often called the Eye of the Sahara. From the ground, it's just rocky terrain, but from space, it reveals itself as a massive series of concentric rings, strikingly similar to the alternating rings of water and land Plato outlined. The visual resemblance is uncanny, but the math is what caught people's attention. Plato measured Atlantis in ancient units called stadia. When converted, the central city was roughly 23 kilometers wide. The Reshat structure measures almost exactly 23 kilometers across. Adding to the intrigue, researchers have found marine fossils scattered throughout this desert region, indicating that this dry sand was indeed completely submerged under ocean water in the distant past. The Reshat's bizarre layout has even fueled viral theories, suggesting the original inhabitants possessed extraterrestrial knowledge or powered their city using advanced crystal-based energy networks. But here is where the data hits a wall. While the shape and size are a near-perfect match for the ancient texts, geologists have studied the site extensively. They firmly classify the Reshat structure as a natural geological dome that slowly eroded over millions of years, leaving us with a fierce debate between physical evidence and historical text. If the Mediterranean is the wrong location, and the Sahara is a natural rock formation, we have to return to Plato's literal words, a sunken landmass resting somewhere in the deep Atlantic. Modern oceanographers deploy a high-tech arsenal, sonar, LiDAR, and ROVs, to scan the pitch-black ocean floor. The most crucial tool is bathymetric mapping. This is the process of measuring the depth of water to chart the topography of the seafloor. Researchers use this mapping to look for perfectly straight lines and 90-degree angles, geometric shapes that nature rarely creates on its own. Yet, even after scanning millions of square miles with equipment Plato couldn't have imagined, the Atlantic has stubbornly refused to yield a smoking gun. The ocean remains vast, dark, and tight-lipped. After 2 millennia of searching, we must face the overwhelming consensus among classical historians and archaeologists. They conclude that Atlantis never existed as a physical place at all. They argue Plato invented the island as a philosophical allegory. He was writing a cautionary tale tailored directly for his fellow Athenians, warning them that their own expanding empire and growing greed would eventually lead to their ruin. But if the academic world agrees it's a fictional story, why do we keep launching million-dollar expeditions to find it? The human obsession with this lost city has long outlived the philosopher who wrote about it. The answer might be that our relentless hunt for Atlantis is actually a mirror. It reflects our own deep-seated societal anxieties back at us. We live in an era of skyscrapers, global internet, and space travel. Yet, looking at the legend, we recognize a quiet, lingering fear. No matter how sophisticated our infrastructure gets, we are still entirely at the mercy of the planet we live on. Atlantis may not be a map of our hidden past. It serves as a persistent warning about our future, a reminder that nature can take any civilization, no matter how great, and erase it in a single night.